I'm Hillary Mulick, a wedding photographer based in the Carolinas, and welcome back to another episode on my YouTube channel. I'm super excited about this week's topic. It's all about posing, specifically posing with dogs. I love dogs. I have a dog named Boris who I've had for 7 years. He's going to be 7 years old next week, actually, which is so crazy that we've had him that long. And actually a lot of my wedding clients have dogs too, and I really encourage them to bring their dogs to their engagement sessions, or when I'm photographing families, I really encourage them to have their dogs included in their sessions, because I really believe that dogs are a part of your family and should be a part of special occasions such as photos. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing my 3 favorite poses that I love doing with my couples and their dogs. The first pose that I love to do with dogs is just a traditional portrait. If they have a medium size or a larger dog, I love having the dog either sitting on the ground in between them or right in front of them with the couple behind them. Or if they have a smaller dog, I will have them holding the dog in their arms and then just get a family portrait of all of them like that. So the very first pose that I love doing with my couples and their dogs is just either a standing portrait if they're a larger dog, or a holding portrait where they're holding their little dog and I'm getting a portrait of all of them together. The second pose that I love doing with dogs is a squatting pose. So the dog will be on the ground and the couple is going to be squatting on either side of the dog. I love doing a portrait of them like this where everyone's looking at me. I think it's a really cute photo of having them both look at their dog, having them cuddling into their dog. I might even do a couple different angles of this. I might get down, squat on the ground myself and get a straight on portrait of them. Sometimes I'll stand up and just get like a more aerial view of them looking at their dog and snuggling with their dog, and it's just a really fun pose of the couple just getting on the dog's level and just doing a really beautiful portrait and just some candids of them snuggling their dog. The last pose, the third pose that I love doing with couples and their dogs, is a walking pose. So usually I'll have the couple holding hands in the middle, and then I'll have one of them on the outside holding their dog on a leash. I always tell them to choke up on the leash so that the dog kind of stays close to them, and then I just have them all walking together. And it's a really fun, candid pose where I can get photos of them walking. Sometimes I might have the couple stop and kiss, and I might focus more on the dog and have the couple in the background of that photo, which is really fun. Sometimes the dog gets really crazy and it just like is jumping up and down, and that's just a really fun walking candid pose that I love doing with couples and their dogs. Some extra tips that I use every time I photograph couples with their dogs is, number one, I try and have a very calm voice when I'm around dogs. So usually when I'm photographing a couple by themselves, I might be a little bit more excited, try and get them hyped up, like, oh my gosh, you guys are so cute. Can you guys nuzzle? Oh, I love that. You guys are doing a great job. I don't do that when a dog is around, because when you're speaking in a really excited voice, that tends to excite the dog and makes them less likely to listen, and it might make the couple really frustrated with their dog, and I definitely don't want that. So when a dog enters onto the scene to be in photos, I speak really calmly. I'm like, oh, thank you so much. I almost speak a little bit quieter. I just want the dog to be really calm and relaxed around me so that they can be really calm and relaxed while I'm taking their photos. The second tip that I love doing at every single one of my sessions, of course, as a backup, I tell my couples to bring toys or a treat to get their dog's attention. But sometimes when you're doing that, the dog relies on that, and there's a lot of stopping in the middle of photos, which is fine. But my preference in getting a dog's attention during photos is making this noise. It's just like a high-pitched noise that just like automatically gets their attention, and it works 99% of the time. If I get the couple all in a pose, let's say I'm doing the first pose where I'm just doing a standing portrait and their dog is just sitting on the ground in between them and their dog's just looking around, and I go, the dog will just immediately look at me, and then I'll snap the photo quickly. It's just really such a good way of getting a dog's attention. And I prefer using the noise over using a toy or a treat, because when you're using a toy or a treat, you feel like you have to reward them in between photos. I mean, I think you should reward them if you're using a toy or a treat. They should be getting treats in between photos. They should get their toy at some point. Otherwise, you're just tempting them for nothing, which I don't think is very nice to do to dogs. So I think making the noise sound is a great way of getting a dog's attention during photos. And that's it. Those are my 3 favorite poses that I love doing with couples and their dogs. If you're interested in more posing tips, I actually have a free download, how to get a variety of photos with just one pose. It's my secret in putting a couple in one pose and then getting a variety of photos, like up to 10 photos of them just in that one pose without having to move them around constantly. And it really keeps the couple calm and relaxed throughout the session, and I'm able to get a huge variety of photos while posing them less and actually taking less time during the session as well. So if you're interested in that, feel free to download the guide down in the description, and I will see you again next week for another YouTube episode. Bye guys.